introduce the microphone this morning, who will bring welcome remarks. And he is Senior Superintendent of Programs and Industry at the Trinidad and Tobago Prison Service, Mr. Sherwin Bruce. Please welcome him to the microphone.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sinclair. Major General, the Honorable Edmund Dillon, Minister of National Security, the Honorable Mr. Anthony Garcia, Minister of Education, the Honorable Mr. Darrell Smith, Minister of Sports, Mrs. Sandra Jones, Permanent Secretary, Office of the Prime Minister, Mr. Sterling Stewart, Commissioner of Prisons, Ms. Sandra Maraj, Chief Probation Officer, Ministry of National Security, Mr. John Roger, Chairman, Vision on Mission, Mr. Wayne Chance, Founder, President, Vision on Mission, Mrs. Joanne Archie, Vision on Mission, Ms. June Alexis Matthew, Director, Vision on Mission, Ms. Johnson, Superintendent of Prisons, Programs and Industry, Trinidad and Tobago Prison Service, Mr. Gard Sinclair, Pastor William Kelly, members of the Prison Service Executive, members of the Vision on Mission Board of Directors, members of the Trinidad and Tobago Prison Service, of the Police Service, our stakeholders, specially invited guests, the media, our clients. Good morning, everyone. It is my pleasure to extend to you all a cordial welcome to the Youth Training Center for this auspicious occasion. We are gathered here today for the launch of Vision on Mission 2017 pre-release program. I will also like at this time to extend congratulations to Vision on a Mission on being awarded the Express Community Group of the Year 2016. This group has continued to partner with the Trinidad and Tobago Prison Service to host a program of this nature by providing training and aftercare service to our clients. It is with gratitude that we host this event in recognition of this milestone of the program, the start of the new cycle 2017. This program assists inmates while in prison and upon release. Inmates completing each cycle would have acquired a sound spiritual foundation, family life support, education, positive peer associates, and opportunities for sustainable employment. These tenets are some of the necessary ingredients for our charges to navigate their way out of reoffending behavior. Vision on a Mission continues to partner with the Trinidad and Tobago Prison Service and the Ministry of National Security as we seek to address the criminogenic needs of our clients. Partnering with stakeholders is a fundamental aspect of addressing reoffending behaviors as a restorative justice philosophy which guides our penal institution requires community involvement. No one is as wise as all of us. Relationships like this with Vision on a Mission and other external stakeholders exemplifies the concept that the criminal justice system is not solely responsible for fixing T&T. I would now invite you to sit back and enjoy this celebration, knowing that the opportunities that will be provided by this program will only redound to our society. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bruce. We'd also like to especially welcome former Minister of National Security, Mr. Gary Griffith and Mrs. Griffith, and also representatives of the U.S. Embassy in particular, who've been very supportive of Vision and Mission. Vision and Mission, as most of us know, as an organization, has been delivering on the promise of helping people, helping ex-inmates correct a lot of what they would have experienced when they exit the system. And today we have a very important success story, both on video and in person. So I'd now like to turn your attention to the screen as you look at a video on the life of Miss Stacy Ann Beckles.
Good morning to everyone. All protocols are observed. Good morning. I greet you in the wonderful name of my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Now, before I start my story, which I have a very few minutes to give it to you all, I'm going to do a poetry that I wrote while I was incarcerated. It has touched the lives of many. It is really spoken with, and it's entitled Free. And I want you all just to listen to the words of it, and it will sum up all that I've been through, what I'm still going through, and what I intend to go further to. And it goes like this. I see you're looking at me. Wow, I wonder what you think you see when you look at me. I guess my mind is playing tricks on me because I see you're still looking at me, judging me. Don't judge me. Yes, me, the young woman you see, whose life has been held in captivity, both carnally and spiritually. Yes, I have sufficed all my life just to be free, free to be me. Imagine having your mother sell you for 20 teething so she could be free. Now I am held without my consent, guided to be free. At times I wondered, where did my soul go? I guess that too was held captive from me until that day. I ran, and I ran until he stopped me. Who did? He did, the Almighty. And he said, my daughter Stacy, just give yourself to me, mind, body, and soul. And yes, I would set you free. I said, set me free? How can you, God, set me from all my carnal and spiritual activities? And he said, through my blood, I will set you free. And so today, I am free. Free from pain, both emotionally and physically. My heart, it is truly free. I may not sound free to some of you all today, but my freedom is way deeper than the fish that swims in the sea or the birds that fly high in the sky. So when you see me walking by as a proud woman, you don't know the price Stacy has had to pay for this type of freedom. I am free, free to be the woman God has meant for me to be. Thank you, free. And without further ado, I am Stacy Ann Beckles, ordained minister, reverend, chaplain, caseworker at Vision and Mission. And I just want to simply say this. While I was behind the prison bar serving my 8-year sentence, it was programs like this that came to the program that helped me to get my house in order. Not my carnal house, but my spiritual house. Because vision or mission did not only bring carnality to the table, they brought spiritual works also, holistic change. They left me every Friday, first and third Friday at the women's prison, going back to my cell or dormitory thinking, what is my mindset going to be? Am I going to be still with the drug lords? Am I still going to run with the crowd? Am I still going to have a fixed mindset? But instead they left me to think I'm going to have a growth mindset. And not just growth for men to see, but growth for our God to see, whoever your source may be. Because integrity, I've learned from my CEO, Mr. Wade Charles, is not what you do in the face of people, but it is what you do behind the closed doors. And I have walked this journey, as you have seen a short clipping of my promo. That is only the sugar in the cake. It's not even the icing. But all honor and glory is given to God for the people he has placed in my life. My mountain people, we will have mountain people in our lives. We will have valley people. For me, vision and mission came as a mountain people because I went to them for employment, and there I am today, giving back to what I was a part of, where God had me to be pruned. So I'm not just standing here as an ordained minister. I tote my cross and still tote it to carry this great crown. So I want us to all look in our hearts today and just recognize this great work that God is doing through my CEO and the other teammates on vision and mission. So I thank you today for taking the time to be here and seeing the testimony of me and many other testimonies to come. Good day.
Thank you very much, Reverend Stacey Ann Beckles. I think she deserves another round of applause. And in keeping with the evidence that we have for the success of the Vision and Mission programs, I would now like to introduce another former inmate, Mr. Musai Patrick, to present his testimony.
Good day, everyone. My name is Musai Patrick. I'd like to say a special good day to everyone, to the administrators, the senior officers, and the commissioner. Now, today's theme is navigating your way out of offending behavior. Now, this is my reason for being here. This is why I am here, because I am trying to navigate my way out of offending behavior. And I'm going to tell you guys something this morning. I have a degree for making bad choices. I think it just comes natural with me. You know, and I've suffered the consequences time and time again, knowing that doing certain things will reap certain rewards, and I just kept at it. I don't know what was keeping me at it. There was some sort of spiritual force behind it, something beyond my control, and I have come to the realization that there is something I need to do. And I need to make a change, a holistic change. I need to make this transition now before it gets too late. Because the clock is ticking away, and we have a lot of young men and women doing time in prison because of bad actions, because of wrong choices, because of criminal behavior, and the clock is ticking away, and we are getting older, we are not getting younger. I have decided to find my place in this life because I know I was called for greatness. I know making jail and gaining negative publicity, hurting people, hurting myself, and the ones that love me, my close relatives and my family, that was not what I was put on this earth for. I decided to do some introspection. I decided to make a moral inventory of my life. And I have realized where it is very important for me to make that change. And I have decided to do so. I spent 16 months in ECRC, and I was released in December. And since then, I wouldn't be a flatter, but reintegration is no breeze, it's no walk in the park. It comes with its challenges, it comes with its many hurdles, and there are a lot of walls. But the individual has to be determined to stay the course, because no victory is going to come without a battle. No victory is going to come without a fight. And I say this to each and every one. Even the most renowned person, even the most highest delegate sitting among us here in the Commissioner of Prisons, he as well has his battles. No one is sitting in too high a position to be free from battles or to be free from trials. Everyone has their own form and their own type of trials today. And I want to let you know that we are all stronger than any battle that could come our way. No battle is going to come our way that we are not able to surmount or to override. But we have to remember we can't do it alone. We need Christ, we need the Lord, and the Lord has sent vision and mission. He has sent this wonderful gentleman here, Mr. Wayne Chance, who has established an organization that is centered around us prisoners, inmates, male and female. This program really works. So I would leave you with this. Work it, it's worth it. This program really works and it really helps, but you have to want it and you have to work the program. That is the only way it's going to work, and we need to get serious and make that change, because prison is not nice. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. His name is not here. Put your hands together again for the gentleman. He gave a nice little testimony. And as we have other guests joining in, it gives me great pleasure to do this, ladies and gentlemen. Now, you know, there are times in your life, and I just want to put a smile on your face a little bit, because I know this is not a somber ceremony. It's one that we care to celebrate, but due to the minister's schedule, on your program, the minister will now be bumped up to the next position. But I wanted to, if we could get this monitor and this TV sorted out real quick. I don't know what caused any technical difficulties. But this occasion here is one that Mr. Chance and Vision and Mission holds every year. Here's the picture. Now, you don't know where you are or where you're going to be in the next how many years, right? So this minister, who is now a minister, I went through my archives, and look how life is. I can never tell that. I never could have, expected that in this occasion we would be in the same room. The picture you're seeing on the screen is your Minister of National Security when he was a young guy, back in 1982. And that was my passing on parade, that he was in the second command of the training wing at the time. And was a very young guy then. He hasn't lost the look. Now I can tell you a little bit. Did you all know that the Minister of National Security was one of the best last stoppers in the defense force on the football field? Very powerful last stopper. And he worked his way up the ranks to become Chief of Defense Staff, and now he's our Minister of National Security. It gives me great pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to introduce you to the microphones, Major General Edmund Dillon.
My cabinet colleague, the Honorable Darrell Smith, Minister of Sport and Youth Affairs, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of National Security, Mr. Vel Lewis, Commissioner of Prisons, Mr. Sterling Stewart, former Minister of National Security, Mr. Gary Griffith and Mrs. Griffith, Mr. John Rosie, Chairman of Vision of Mission, Mr. Wayne Chance, Founder and President of Vision and Mission, Mr. Joan Archie, Ms. June Alexis Matthew, Mr. Charmaine Johnson, Superintendent of Programs and Industry and Trinidad and Tobago Prison Service, Mr. Terry Rondon, Chairman of Toco San Grande Regional Corporation, Colonel Claudia Carizales, U.S. Military Liaison Officer, and other members of the U.S. Embassy, Pastor Wilmer Kelly, from my own constituency of Point Fortin, members of the Prison Executive Service, members of the Vision of Mission Board of Directors, members of Trinidad and Tobago Prison Service, members of Trinidad and Tobago Police Service here present, stakeholders, specially invited guests, members of the media. Indeed, a very pleasant good morning to you all. It is indeed a pleasure for me this morning to join in the continuing journey of transformation and reformation of lives brought about by the collaboration between Vision and Mission and the Trinidad and Tobago Prison Service. Today, I believe, stand witness to the power of partnership, which I've been invited to speak about, and the further collaboration towards sustainable development of relationships. As such, permit me to extend sincere thanks and appreciation to Vision and Mission, led by the indomitable Mr. Wayne Chance, who has been working over the last 16 years in the Trinidad and Tobago Prison Service in administering rehabilitative programs and reintegration efforts towards treating with the inmates here at the Trinidad and Tobago Prison Service in what I consider to be one of his best programs, Preparation for Release. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe we should recognize Mr. Wayne Chance by a lustrous round of applause. I further want to take this opportunity to extend my own congratulations to Vision and Mission for its recent award for the Express Community Group of the year 2017 for the organization's extensive work. In recognition of those awards, again, let us commend the entire organization for receiving that award. We are all here today, ladies and gentlemen, I believe, with the same goal: the reduction, if not the prevention, of the revolving door syndrome. The Ministry of National Security will support any initiative that is aimed at creating an environment that enables and ensures public safety and security. The team that I've asked to speak about the power of partnership, to my mind, it is very relevant in the way we do business. In today's world, we live in a world of interdependence, where no one agency, no one individual, no one institution can treat the many issues that confront us. When we talk about the issues of power and partnership, if we break down those two concepts, power is about influence. Power will be the ability to influence people or activities. But power, there is a source that emanates to determine that power. At the level of the individual, the source could be illegitimate power by virtue of your rank or your position. It could be a referent power by way of your charisma. And I believe when we talk about referent power, I would certainly nominate Mr. Wayne Chance, who have executed the kind of referent power, the kind of charisma to lead the Vision of Mission. But they are also what we call coercive power, the ability to punish others, to influence them to act in a certain way. We also have the question of reward power, the ability to reward good behavior, to reward persons to do good things, to influence their actions. At the level of the state, we also have power. We execute power in terms of legitimate power by virtue of the norms of the state. We execute power by way of our economy, by our geography, and of course our culture and governance. So when we talk about the power of partnership, we're talking about coming together to achieve shared goals and objectives. So bringing the question of power and partnership together, I believe, is a way in which we have seen manifested by the cooperative and collaborative action of the Vision and Mission and the Trinidad and Tobago Prison Service. Henry Ford once said, "Coming together is the beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success." Ladies and gentlemen, I want to suggest today that the Trinidad and Tobago Prison Service and the Vision and Mission have certainly come together. They have certainly worked together. I believe they have certainly achieved success in the efforts and what they have done, especially in treating with those who have been incarcerated here today. So please, let us give them a wonderful applause again. Successful reintegration is not an easy feat, and certainly can only come from absolute stakeholder collaboration. The reintegration effort born of the restorative justice philosophy, which speaks to a paradigm shift from a retributive approach to a restorative approach. This recommendation has been incorporated into this government's effort at establishing a reintegrated penal policy and prison reform, aimed towards reducing reoffending, improving rehabilitation and prison conditions, prison security and physical facilities, and of course, prison legislation. We have all agreed that very high and growing prison populations are simply not sustainable. It has been stated that approximately 58% of prisoners are reconvicted within 2 years of being released. Hence, the rehabilitation of offenders and the effective preparation for re-entry into the society is critical for a reduction in recidivism and crime management generally. This implementation of this vision and mission preparation for release programs behind prison wall is in fact encouraging and will no doubt work in conjunction with the existing programs already offered by Trinidad and Tobago Prison Service. These programs are welcomed and necessary to guide inmates nearing the end of their sentences and allow for their transition and re-entry into society. The government of Trinidad and Tobago and leaders in criminal justice understand that the inmates also require help to move forward with their lives. In fact, for greater success rates after their release from prison, our system requires a network of committed agencies and individuals who are dedicated to helping those released from incarceration to experience life as protective, law-abiding citizens. Vision and mission has already answered this clarion call, ladies and gentlemen. I urge more of civil and business society to come on board. Collaboration is in fact the key. Collaboration and cooperation as we treat those issues. Our concern at the Ministry of National Security is crime reduction. A reduction in the rate of reoffending and ultimately in reducing the prison population. Along the lines of the power of collaboration, the Ministry of National Security has been collaborating with the Ministry of the Attorney General and Legal Affairs and several other areas in the jurisdiction, especially with respect to the legislative framework. This, in fact, is a clear demonstration of philosophy of the whole of government approach. With Street Switch, looking at all the issues across the government spectrum, because we believe that across the government, each ministry can make an intervention with respect to crime and criminality. The Ministry of Sport and Youth Affairs, the Ministry of Social Development, the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Finance. Almost everything should be geared. If we say that crime and criminality is one of our #1 issues, then the focus of the government will be and is to bring everything to bear on treating with crime and criminality. Again, using the power of partnership to treat with those issues. Presently, before our country's legislative making body, the Parliament, is the Indictable Offences Pretrial Procedure Bill 2017, with the primary intent of abolishing preliminary inquiries for indictable offences in the local court system. Further, this piece of legislation is aimed at making the administration of justice increasingly effective and robust. Passage of this bill will enable the reduction in court delays by streamlining procedures and improving court case management. In fact, any attempt to reduce the backlog of cases in our nation's courts will have a direct impact on the Trinidad and Tobago Prison Service, particularly the remand prisons.